Welcome again, everyone. So as you know, this year's theme is color, and today we're talking about the power of paint, which is something near and dear to my heart. So to chat about achieving your vision with the stroke of a brush, which is our title today, I've called upon three of the most talented people I know. So first up to my left is Alexa Hampton. Since Alexa took the reins of Mark Hampton, her father's iconic firm, as owner and president in 1998, she has advanced its legacy of elegant, practical, classically based interiors for modern living. Next, we have Ellen O'Neill, the creative director of Benjamin Moore. As part of the color innovation and design team, she leads the creative and color teams at the company that drive inspiration through color tools and forecasting for consumers, designers, architects, and other end users through Benjamin Moore's collection of nearly 3,500 rich and enduring colors. And how many of those have you named?
I haven't named any.
None of them. Okay, good. And last but not least, we have Alessandra Branca. Alessandra was born in Rome and at an early age learned that classical beauty is meant to be incorporated with everyday life. She believes that living well involves comfort, elegance, and a dose of humor. She founded her firm more than 25 years ago and is known for infusing her projects with fine workmanship and craftsmanship, as well as with doses of energy and practicality. So let's get started. Alexa, your father, Mark Hampton, was celebrated for creating classic traditionalism. How did growing up with this influence affect the way you use color?
As his child, I saw him try out lots of things. And I think a lot of people tell me, oh, you know, I think of his red rooms or I think of his dark brown rooms. So I'll tell you, there was one color he really hated, which was purple. And when I was 10, I went through a drastic purple phase. As I grew up, I put away my childish things and I mimicked my father and I was like, no, purple's wrong, purple's wrong. And now I'm like, he's been dead a long time. And I have cracked out the purple.
Right.
I'm worried about his grave and him turning in it. But the heart wants what the heart wants. There's a very emotional part of a person's palette. And I think when we work with clients, you know, we would love to stretch their palette or whatever, but ultimately we want them to be happy and we want to find out what their palette is so we can hit those notes with them.
So Ellen, you've had a wide-ranging career trajectory from running your own shop to a stint at Ralph Lauren Home and now creative director of Benjamin Moore. How your personal aesthetic has evolved over the years and how your approach to color has changed, or has it changed?
I'm by no means a color specialist. I brought sort of a different, unorthodox aspect to color and design to that, basically having been out and had these other experiences. But I so enjoy being able to hyper-focus on a category as bewitching as color. Bewitching and ever-changing, transformative, and I started losing my mind sort of inhaling color or cutting open a watermelon radish and saying, it's a palette. It was just, I would say the most fun job I've ever had with all those other experiences, because everywhere I go, I see a palette or a message. It's a little, but anyway, it works for me.
So Alessandra, I know you have a fondness for red, black, and white in a lot of your interiors. Why are you drawn to those colors?
I love red. When I came to the United States, I have to say, I was deeply in need of saturated color. Color is our history. It's who we are. It's what we react to. It's what brings us home. I mean, if we don't have color in our life, some people, you know, we all have the fantasy of a beautiful white space, and I am no less in love with white. But the reality of white in my life, in an active household with pets and things and stuff everywhere, it doesn't suit me. And I have to be honest with myself and allow something else to take over.
Do you ever reserve certain colors for certain rooms?
I gravitate towards red libraries. I love chocolate brown entries. I have a thing about that, but there's no, as Alexa said, it's the whole beauty of what we do is it's an experiment. This whole life is one big experiment. And if you don't indulge in yourself and in what you've, and what's deep inside of you, what's the point? It's really, this is your chance to experience all this beautiful stuff. And color is one of the most wonderful gifts. So it's fantastic. I mean, so there are no rules. People always ask about
What are the rules? What are
if
the rules?
there are rules, we're breaking them.
Right.
That's the point.
And I love working with clients who are, I mean, they're the
Right.
point. I mean, when you're working with them, they're making a place for them that they'll love. And I love living vicariously, because maybe I don't want to have whatever the color is for my whatever the room is, but I get to have it then with them.
So I want to hear of some horror stories of color gone wrong.
Have them.
Okay.
When I was working for my father, and I was moving into an apartment and about to go to grad school in Italy. So I had like a week to move into the apartment, to paint it, and then to go. And I picked a beautiful yellow color from obviously Benjamin Moore. And I was speeding. I wasn't taking the time, and I wasn't doing samples. I was buying the cans of paint. I spent one whole night painting the walls of my bedroom this yellow that I had only seen in very small. And when the sun rose, I realized I had painted the room the color of insanity. And I was like,
That you have a good point about color and light. So if you look at colors under LED lights, for example, which is a whole new thing, you will find that color is very, very different than when you take it under incandescent light or under sunlight, or better yet, if you start looking at colors geographically. So you look at a color in Rome that looks spectacular in Rome, it doesn't work in New York City, and it certainly wouldn't work in Palm Beach. So I think there are appropriate colors for the light. And so LED is scary. It's distressing. It changes, it pulls out the blues. I don't know how did you have to mix colors differently now that we have LED?
We read colors under 4 different light settings to figure out what colors look realistically in different light settings. It's a contraption in the studio.
how cool.
Send it our way.
Send it our way, yeah.
I need contraptions. Color is context. You must put things together and have fun. It's like cooking. This is so much like cooking. And there is no recipe. It's all about you and about your client. And there's nothing wrong with sitting around the table and throwing fabrics at a client and letting them feel the color on them and around them. I don't know if you do that. I'm sure that she does.
It's also fun, though, when, say, you're doing a red room, but the walls aren't red. Or when you're doing a neutral room, but then you paint the walls red. Like, there are ways to contend with wall color that has nothing to do with the fabric scheme that almost seems counterintuitive. And then you have your beautiful scheme, you're ready to go, and then you introduce a color that is nowhere else represented in the scheme, and that can be really fun.
Right. So I want to keep moving along. Why do colors date?
We expect to get about 8 years out of a paint job. And so we want to stay current, but we want to appreciate that to paint a room is traumatic, expensive, disrupting, et cetera, et cetera. So basically, we hope that refreshing a room each year with popular accessory colors or trends in textiles or whatever kind of bring those colors to life. And we have this ritual color of the year. We certainly don't expect people to repaint, every January 1st because it's insane. So we pick things that embrace the colors that are about to come on the market and harmonize with those colors, but we don't expect necessarily to switch out that often.
I mean, if you lived in London in 1810, you wouldn't have seen across your street from the soot in the air. So color was a very different thing for them. It also was elegance, and now we think that off-white is elegant. Because there are beautiful rooms that were done, God bless. Hicks, my God. We could live in any of those rooms for any period of time except for the plexiglass. It's the only thing that dates his interiors.
All right, well, I can't thank each of you enough. Can we give them a round of applause?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.